welcome to How to Live Like a Voyageur 101. So when the voyageurs were out on their journeys, they were expected to paddle about 14 hours a day. They paddled 50 strokes a minute, and they were gone for 6 to 8 weeks. Their distance was measured in pipes. So like for example, a 32-kilometer lake would take them about 4 hours to do, so they'd smoke 4 pipes because they'd stop every hour and smoke a pipe. When they were on their portage, each voyageur was expected to carry 2 to 3 90-pound bundles along with the canoe on top. So in their packs, they'd have like their food supplies, their shelter supplies, some cooking stuff, their tools and clothing and stuff like that. So they'd have like their pots and their pans, they'd have their axe. Have a knife, but it would usually be made out of like an animal pin or something. So on a typical day, they'd up, pack and leave at 3 in the morning without having breakfast, but they'd stop around like just before 8 o'clock on the beach to have breakfast. And again around 3 they'd pull out some like a piece of pemmican or a biscuit to chew on while they were rowing. When they were finished paddling for their 14 hours, they'd go on shore and they'd set up camp. They'd collect some dry firewood, they'd start a fire, make a tripod, set up their shelter. So they do their shelter, they'd unload the canoe, they'd take everything out, they'd pop it up with their paddles, they'd throw a tarp over it to protect against the elements. The snow, wind, and rain. So at night, the cook would warm up their food and serve it because they cooked it all the night before. And they'd sit around the fire, they'd tell stories, sing songs, play games and stuff. And they'd also bring out their rum at night and they'd have a couple of drinks. And after that, they'd put in 9 quarts of peas and water into a pot, and they'd let that cook over the fire and simmer for a while. And just before bed, they'd add in some strips of pork, and then they'd let that cook overnight. And in the morning, the cook would add some whiskey. And then after that, they'd get up early again and do it all over again. The voyageurs were thought of as like dirty people who didn't really care, and they had bad manners because they often ate their food out of their hats or their pocket. And some of the food they ate, like their snacks, would be like pemmican and berries and stuff. And pemmican is just like dried buffalo. So the voyageurs dressed themselves with a shirt. They'd have like a felt hat or red tube. They'd have deerskin leggings, which would like connect with like a string held up at the belt. They wore a breechcloth. They had deerskin moccasins. They'd also have like their big winter coats with hoods and a sash. The voyageurs also suffered from hernias, broken bones, and limbs from the weights and stuff like that. They also suffered from black flies and mosquitoes, like big swarms of them. But the old guys, like they'd have their beards for older guys, and then they found that the best bug repellent was bear grease and skunk feet. So when they went back to Grand Portage, they liked to look their best. They'd grab their best shirt, they'd wear the best feathers and cleanest feathers they had. And that's the typical life of a voyageur.